Let us pray. Almighty God, the creator and ruler of heaven and earth, we beseech thee to inspire and guide all our actions so that we may always walk in the path of justice, love, and charity to one another. Help us with thy grace to do only those things that will promote the unity, peace, happiness, and prosperity of Nigeria in general and Lagos State in particular. Amen. Good afternoon, distinguished colleagues. You are all welcome to today's sitting. Let us go through the votes and proceedings of Monday, 14 October 2019. Page 59, page 60, page 60, page 63. On page 6, 2 and 63, there's amendment to page 63. There's a committee on business route to be chaired by Majority Leader Hon.Braimoh Ade. That was omitted. And on page 63 and number 33, number 33, we public-private partnership should be Hon. S. Olumo, while procurement Hon. Adam Nohim. Honorable Braimoh.
Thank you, sir. On page 62, item 18, I thought I heard women affairs, poverty alleviation, and job creation.
And
Job creation, sir. So my committee is not complete, sir. Thank you, sir.
which one is job creation?
That was what you read out yesterday, sir.
Which one is employment trust fund and job creation?
That one, that's wealth creation and employment.
Okay, not job creation. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I have examined the fruits and proceedings of Monday, 14 October 2019, and approval is here granted. Any message from the governor?
Right Honorable Speaker, distinguished honorable members, we received a letter from His Excellency Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, the Governor of Lagos State, addressed to the Right Honorable Speaker. It is titled Reordering of Priorities under the year 2019 budget. Subject to the kind permission of the Honorable Speaker, I will read an abbreviated version of the letter. His Excellency, the Governor expressed sincere appreciation to the Honorable Speaker and all honorable members for their support and cooperation to ensure the delivery of the dividends of democracy to the state. We noted that the budget as at 31st of August 2019 had a 71% overall performance, which is below the set target of 100%. Further analysis showed that the recurrent expenditures stood at 80%, while capital expenditure was at 64% performance, portending a 49 to 51 capital/recurrent ratio against the target of 55 to 45 ratio. We also noted that the level of performance has made it imperative to go back to the drawing board to structure a more conscientious approach to tilt our total capital investment in the remaining months of year 2019 in order to meet the target of 55 to 45 ratio. As a result, the present structure of the capital budget, the present structure of the budget will have to be amended to specifically drive capital expenditure through the completion of various ongoing capital projects, which were started by the previous administration, in addition to accommodating few new priorities, such as completion of Lagos-Badagry Express Road, completion of Agege Cinema Overhead Bridge, completion of Agric Isawo Road, initiates and completes smart city projects, completion of Bola Ahmed Tinubu Igbobo Road, provision of security and emergency equipment, completion and rehabilitation of schools, zero tolerance for potholes, etc. The sum of 34.05 billion will be reordered in the year 2019 provisions as follows: recurrent 25 billion and capex 10.05 billion. In addition, there is need to address some of the infrastructural gap in the state in order to prepare the state for a smart megacity status. However, our current revenue generating level is inadequate to fund all the necessary projects in the year 2019 budget. Hence, the need to seek alternative source of funding in the interim, while we seek means of improving our internally generated revenue. Therefore, the state shall be raising a total of 250 billion, broken down into a fixed rate bond of 100 billion from the capital market and an internal loan of 150 billion. Furthermore, we will recollect the clause in the year 2019 appropriation that stipulates that the Commissioner for Economic Planning and Budget, Commissioner for Finance, and the Accountant General of the state shall seek and obtain the approval of the House of Assembly before commencing or incurring expenditure on specified heads of expenditure listed in Schedule 1, Part C of the law. However, due to the present circumstances, it has become expedient to seek the approval of the Honorable House of Assembly for the reversal of this law and return the votes to the executing agency. Please note that with all these arrangements, the budget size remains at 873.532 billion. In view of the foregoing, the Honorable House is being invited to consider the proposal for the reordering of the year 2019 budget, raising of 100 billion bond issuance from the capital market, 150 billion from the internal loans, and the return of the expenditure listed in Schedule 1, Part C of the year 2019 appropriation to the executing agency. I look forward to a favorable and prompt consideration of these proposals in our collaborative efforts towards finding solutions to our various challenges within the limited resources available to the state. Please accept the assurance of my highest regard as always for you and the honorable members of the State House of Assembly. Signed, His Excellency Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu, Governor of Lagos State. That's all, sir.
Any other announcement?
None, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Official?
None, sir.
Matter for the public reporters? No. Personal explanation? No. Report? No. The request for reordering by His Excellency is hereby committed to Joint Committee of both Finance and Economic Planning to report back by next week, Monday. Our business of the day, Majority Leader. Any of report, Hon.Braimoh.
Speaker, distinguished colleagues, good afternoon. I'm here this afternoon to lay a report of the defunct Adhoc Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights, Public Petition, and LASIEC on a petition titled Request for Redress of Wrongful Destruction of Property and Financial Burden Imposed on our clients. I so lay.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, good afternoon. Mr. Speaker, in order for us to take the report of the Adhoc Committee, former Adhoc Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Public Petition and LASIEC, I hereby move that the House to resolve the committee of the vote. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to second the motion as moved.
All in favor say aye. Those against nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Braimoh.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this is the report of the defunct Adhoc Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights, Public Petition, and LASIEC on a petition titled Request for Redress of Wrongful Destruction of Property and Financial Burden Imposed on our clients. Mr. Speaker, with your kind permission, sir, may I move to item 2, sir. Item 2.0, Times of Reference. The committee was charged with responsibilities which include to determine the veracity of the allegation of wrongful destruction of Nissan Urban Bus, of Van Bus with Lagos color and Ogun vehicle registration number FFF211XA, while under the seizure of the respondent on the 10th of June 2018. 2, to provide necessary solutions towards the resolution of the issues disclosed. 3.0, crux of the petition. The petitioner, represented by his counsel, Ms. Adeyanju Barakat, of Olufemi I. Falano Chambers said he parked his Nissan Van bus, registration number FFF211XA, registered for commercial purposes, along Ogba to Ojota Bega route at Bega Motor Park, awaiting his turn to load passengers. The task force officers surrounded the vehicle and detained his vehicle, alleging that he was on a prohibited spot. According to him, some of the officers demanded gratification from him, whilst they argued on amount to be paid. One officer from the task force jumped into the vehicle and sped off in a most reckless manner. It was therefore not too surprising to find the vehicle abandoned by the said officer after he had crashed the vehicle into a streetlight pole at Grammar School Road, and the light pole fell on an oncoming SUV. The petitioner detailed the damages inflicted on his vehicle and asked for the sum of 300,000 naira to fix same. DSP Kennedy Oga, the second in command, also called 2IC, of the task force, stated that the operative of the task force apprehended the petitioner at an illegal passenger loading point, but denied anyone demanding money from him. He further admitted that an officer of the force drove the vehicle ostensibly away from the scene to the task force base, but had an accident along the way. 4.0 inspection. The committee inspected the vehicle at the task force yard where it was parked at Ojoju and examined the extent and nature of damages. 5.0 findings. The committee found as follows. 1. The petitioner was within the space approved for loading or offloading of passengers when his vehicle was seized by the task force operatives. 2. The petitioner could not substantiate the allegation of bribery and demand for money by the operatives. 3. The task force operatives ought to use more decent means of seizure, like towing or detaining errant vehicles. 4. Driving the vehicles by security officers who endanger the public because such officers may not be licensed to drive, or the vehicle could be in a bad mechanical condition and could trigger accidents when driven by strangers. 5. The 2IC task force agreed with the committee findings that the task force officers should repair the vehicle. 6. The vehicle was then repaired and the petitioner expressed satisfaction. 6.0 recommendations. The committee therefore recommends as follows going forward: that the task force should desist from harassing and molesting commercial motorists who operate within the confines approved by the law. 2. That in cases of seizure or detaining of vehicles, such vehicle will either be driven by its owner or towed away by the task force. This is because the task force operative may not be licensed to drive, or the vehicle may not be serviceable enough to be driven by any other person except the driver. 3. The task force should put the vehicle back to its original state before the December 10, 2018 incident. 4. The vehicle having been so repaired to the satisfaction of the petitioner, the case should be amicably rested. The committee thank the Right Honourable Speaker, the Clerk of the House, and the Secretariat for their support towards the successful completion of this report. Signed by me, Hon. Hon.Braimoh, former Chairman, Judiciary.
Honorable Togo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to move that the report as presented by Hon.Braimoh be adopted for debate.
Honorable Raid.
I rise to second the motion was moved by Honorable Togo.
All in favor say aye. Those against nay, the ayes have it. Honorable Lo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My colleague, good afternoon. Mr. Speaker, the report is straightforward. We must thank the committee for the job well done, for the ability to resolve the issue amicably and getting justice for the owner of the vehicle or the petitioner as the case may be. However, Mr. Speaker, the issue of operatives driving vehicles is not even limited. It's not limited to task force. Many a time, I've stopped some LASMA personnel driving vehicles. Despite the fact that we have admonished them that it's either the vehicle is towed, since they have regulation that spelled out the fine for towing. Dito BIO, I think this should just be taking that we should admonish all our personnel, especially BIO, task force, and last month, to desist from this, because apart from the fact that maybe they don't have the license, but the risk, the hazard of driving a vehicle that they don't know the state, they don't know the mechanical state of the vehicle, portends a great danger to passersby and the other road users. So I thank the committee, but I would have just added that maybe we should use this as a clarion call to all these personnel, that henceforth, any one of them that is caught driving vehicle which ordinarily they're supposed to have towed for any form of infraction should be penalized accordingly, so that we will not have a lot of issues, or we safeguard the lives of passengers or road users. Once again, I admire, appreciate the committee for its job.
What's where the law provides for such situations, where the personnel of the agencies are allowed to drive in case where the driver of the vehicle is reluctant to drive the vehicle to the post.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The law specifies that it has to be towed, and there is an amount attached to towing of such vehicles. Under no circumstance should they drive it. At most, let them detain it until they get a towing vehicle that will tow it off. But if you see a personnel driving it, even the law has not specified and has not told them to drive. But what the law specified is towing of such vehicles, and there is fee attached to that. So I would have loved a situation where we keep to the tenets and the spirit of the law, by not allowing such personnel to drive such vehicle in under no circumstance. Thank you, sir.
Well, thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. In addition to what Honourable Odowa has said, I agree the report is quite straightforward. The matter has been resolved, but I think it is important we sound a note of caution, to particular, to uniformed men, particularly, that such act is indeed unlawful, because I don't think it is right for anybody to drive somebody else's car without his or her permission, and so I think that is all I wish to say. Thank you very much, sir.
Honorable Secretary.
Thank you very much, sir. The Right Honourable Speaker. I want to appreciate this committee for a job well done. The report is quite up. But my concern is about this thing is the issue of our law enforcement agencies. It's as if they are above the law. They operate as if they can do anything once you have your uniform on you. And I think they are not above the law. For that reason, the way the committee has handled it is quite good, but you also need to deal with the officer that was involved so that we serve as a deterrent for others. That is why I believe that recommendation number 4, which states that 6.4 says that the vehicle having been so repaired to the satisfaction of the petitioner, the case should be amicably rested. It's not enough to rest the case, but to deal with the officer so that other officers will know that this will serve, will deter them from treating citizens in this manner. My own addition to it, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Why I agree with the submission of my colleagues. But, Mr. Speaker, we have witnessed it, that some of the officers can be very unruly at their work. But, Mr. Speaker, there are some cases where you see some motorists, where they park the position where they park, they refuse, and they engage all these enforcement agents in a physical combat. And at that moment, you will see that traffic congestion will be building up, and somebody just have to move the vehicle away from that. If we blame the traffic officers and the police officers, we also have to admonish the public that wherever they are apprehended, they should subject themselves to the law. That's my position, sir.
Well, I think you have said it on honorable. It's all about description. I mean, some situation might demand a situation where the vehicle has to be moved out immediately, urgently. And waiting for tow vehicle, as suggested, at times can be difficult. I don't know the number of vehicles, towing vehicles we have as a state. Most times they have to seek for private owners of such vehicles to move away vehicles that are blocking the road. So it's a discretionary thing where one has to do something just to ensure free flow of traffic. But I quite agree with you that we must urge them to restrain from taking possession of people's car or any type of vehicle. So we just continue to appeal to them that they should do what is right in every circumstance. I think that is the way to go about it. Because we have to make it mandatory that they must not drive anybody's vehicle. Then if there's a situation arising at that point, so what do we do? So that's why I suggest that we just ask them to use their discretion where it is necessary and without totally condemning their actions. So, well, from here is moving, the issue has been resolved. We can only take the last aspect of the discussion as the, what is it called, resolution of the committee. If the chairman of the committee will accept that as part of the, before you, Honorable Abiru.
I was just going to move the motion for adoption
Okay,
as
let's
amended.
add that before we.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for your ingenuity. I also thank other contributors who have adumbrated the position of the committee, especially Honorable Sotonji, who raised the concern as to the excessiveness of some of our officers. But Mr. Speaker, I moderated that by observing that exigencies of certain circumstances may dictate that emergency or quick prompt action be taken in some cases. And if we're not taken, like Honorable Yusuf said, it could lead to a breakdown of the law. Because if we allow convergence of all the motorists or commercial motorists especially, or motorcyclists, if they don't take the object of irritation away and the vehicle or motorcycle is there, they will continue to converge on the place and it can lead to a serious breach of the peace. So, but the officers will be enjoined to employ utmost discretion in such circumstances in the interest of peace and tranquility. To that extent, Mr. Speaker, I will wish to say that we amend our leg 4, which will now be the sole recommendation of the committee, to read that the vehicle having been so repaired to the satisfaction of the petitioner, the law enforcement agencies, especially Task Force, LOMA, LASMA, VIO, and other uniformed personnel saddled with the responsibility of working on roads in Lagos State should be mindful of the position of the law when taking actions, but could exercise certain discretions in certain circumstances that are justifiable, but should act within the confines of the law at all times. Mr. Speaker, at the risk of double speaking, but because I'm afraid that we could not give them a blanket approval to do what is outside the law, but at the same time,
Well, it's just put as simple as desist from, driving people's vehicles in every circumstance, save for where it is highly necessary. So do so.
Excuse me, sir.
Honorable Abiru.
Well, thank you very much, sir. I wish to move that the recommendation be adopted as amended. Thank you very much, sir.
Honorable Kasumu.
I second the motion as moved.
Honorable Kasumu. You put on your lights. Which one is it?
Yes, I said I second the motion as moved.
Okay. All in favor say ayes. Those against nay. The ayes have it. The majority leader.
Yes, Honorable Chair, after completing what we have to do in the committee of the whole, I do move that we should revert to plenary. So I so move, Mr. Chair.
Honorable Victor Afande.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to second the motion.
All in
as
favor say ayes. Those against nay. The ayes have it. Majority leader.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, at the committee of the whole, an Adhoc committee, former Adhoc committee, chaired by Hon.Braimoh, presented a report on the Committee on Judiciary, Public Petition, Human Rights and LASIEC on a petition titled Request for Redress of Wrongful Destruction of Property and Financial Burden Imposed on our clients. After the presentation of the report, members contributed, suggestions were made, amendments were made, critiques were also done on it. Eventually, the resolution of the committee was taken as the report of the, as amended, was taken as the resolution of the whole house. At the committee of the whole, in summary, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, this is what happened at the committee of the whole. It was taken as the resolution of the whole house.
Thank you. Honorable Lowo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to affirm that the recap is a true representation of what transpired at the committee of the whole.
Honorable Makinde.
I rise to support the affirmation.
All in favor say ayes. Those against nay. The ayes have it. Mr. Clerk, kindly communicate the position of the House to all necessary agencies. Yeah, majority leader.
Honorable colleagues, I have the mandate and prerogatives of the right honorable speaker after exhaustive consultation with the right honorable speaker that it will adjourn the sitting plenary Thursday, 17th October 2019.
Honorable Makinde.
I rise to support the motion.
Yeah, before question is put, there will be short meeting immediately after plenary. All in favor say aye. Those against nay, the ayes have it. This house stands adjourned to 17 October 2019 at 10 a.m. from I rise.